Are you tired of the music in your Bronco sounding blah? Well, today we're taking care of that in our Bronco with the install and finishing up of the wiring of our 500.1 amp. So
let's get started.
Hey, welcome to the channel. I'm Nick, aka Dad.
And I'm Addie, aka the Monkey.
And if you're not a subscriber, smash that subscribe button, because Monk and I, we're constantly finding tips, tricks, and products that we use on our Bronco that you can use on yours. And today we are finally at the end of our sound system upgrade. We've shown you the videos in the past. We'll put links up throughout the whole install here of from beginning to end, but today we're at the end. We've already installed the gear shade subwoofer box that we got, had the kicker RT10 installed into it, showed you that we were going to be installing the 500.1 kicker amp, and today we're going to show you how to wire it up and finally get sound. Now at the very end we won't have music playing just because of copyright issues, but Monk and I have decided to do another video, a really short video. We're going to drive through town like 30 miles an hour, 35, to show you what it sounds like there. And then we'll get out on the open road, get up to about 55, 60, and have the same type of music playing so you can kind of hear the sound to see if it's something that you want to tackle on your Bronco. And we'll post links down below for you to find the gear shade subwoofer box, the kicker RT10, the Crutchfield site that we went to get the 500.1 and all the wiring. So put all that down below, but let's get started with this install so we can start hearing some tunes. So for the wiring that's coming from the plug and play kit from the amp, we found like this little groove. Try to keep my shadow out of the way as much as possible here, but it's right here next to this there's the wiring harness. There's a plastic channel in here, and then right along in there you can kind of see the wire going through there. I used use that channel just to kind of lay it down in, and then used a fish tape to go from the front here underneath, through this pillar here, pulled it out, and now we've got plenty all the way out here. So what we'll probably do from here is we'll keep it in this channel all the way up, get my fish tape out of the way, up through here, and go up through the kick panel and then across, because the connection should be right over there underneath the climate control. So it should have plenty of wire from plug and play to be able to get this connected. So just got to get all that ran underneath the dash, and then we'll continue on with getting the amp installed in the back, and I'll show you where we're going to mount it. We've got the wiring still coming from the back, but you can see we've got everything kind of underneath here. What I want to do while we're under here is actually take our kicker key 200.4 and run power to the battery, because we are getting some clipping at the volume of 20. So when you have the top off, you need a little extra volume. So we're getting some clipping. So instead of using the wiring harness we got from plug and play kits, running power from the head unit, we want to run it to the battery and get juice from the battery so we don't have to worry about clipping. But there's a great spot though back to the 500.1 back there. Get up in here, but up in there is actually a grommet. See if we can get some light back in there. But yeah, there's a grommet right there coming from the engine bay. It's easy to pop out from underneath here, prop it back in, and then you can cut a slide into it just so you can put that power wire we've got right there going through it. And then we'll take that back to the 500.1 we have in the back so we can get power to that, so we can power the subwoofer. All right, so back there, we finally fished out. There's like that little blue module back there. That is what our line is going to. And the nice thing from Plug and Play, they gave us like 17 feet, which it looks like we got about 4 feet too much, which is nice. You always want plenty of wiring. Now we still need to get power to the battery to our smaller amp up front, and then pull that power back to the big amp. So we keep moving. So you can see we cut the wire from the plug and play unit wiring harness, and we've got our own now. We just got it kind of spooled up here And what we're going to do is we're going to take that through the firewall to the battery, and we're going to put that on a 15 amp fuse block, just in case, you know. The last thing you want is get too much heat and cause an electrical fire in a car. Not a good idea. So we got a little 15 amp fuse block we're going to use, and then connect the amp with the fuse block we got from Crutchfield. All right, so we've run the power from back up there, back down to the kick panel. There's the wire there along with the loom. We've pulled it through here to the back side, which is underneath that panel. And then we've got it run to back here, and let's show you where we're thinking about putting the amp now. All right, so we've got, like I said, we've got the wire pulled back here. This is the connector that will go to the amp to give it signal and tell it, you know, bass and all that. And then we're thinking about, they had this little area back in here. We're thinking about just putting it right on here. We've done some test fitments with putting this panel on. So we're thinking if we just use some double-sided tape from 3M, that we can stick it to that. At this point, that might be the best thing. We could try to be putting a sheet metal screw through there, but we're only gonna get like maybe 1 or 2 in because we just don't have a lot of room. We need to wire it up before we stick it on there. So we'll try the 3M tape first, and then if it doesn't work, you can always go to the sheet metal screws. Well, at the beginning I was talking about how I didn't know what any of the wires were for, because on the kicker unit you got left and right, positive and negative. So I wasn't sure which wires did what. And I reached out to Plug and Play, and they were able to let me know that the white wire is left positive, and then the brown wire is left negative, which then leaves us the gray and the green. The gray is right positive, and the green is right negative. So if you've got this older kit and haven't done anything with it yet, that's what the wiring is. It was nice that they reached back out and let me know that. But this is probably their first kit they ever came out with, was this type of harness. So yeah, it'll be nice just to cut off the RCAs like I've done, get it connected. We run power to it, we'll run our negative, and then hopefully we'll have some bass coming out of our subwoofer. So we've made all of our connections. We've got it plugged in here. And the cool thing is, GearShade actually gives you a diagram of how they kind of start off the settings for your 500.1 for the subwoofer. So I've already got those put in here, and we've already run our ground, which we've found a nice little spot up here that I've used before. Actually, there's a factory ground right there, so we're going to use that for the ground. We've got our power. Now we just need to find a good way to run speaker lines from here to over there, and we're thinking about just running them right here underneath the rear cargo flooring. Hopefully that'll make it easier, because we've only got so much speaker wire left. So we're going to try that first. Yeah, it would be easier or nice and clean to go around and then up, but with what we have left, we want to hear this thing go. We're just going to do this. We've got everything buttoned up. The subwoofer is working. We would have played it, but I think we're just going to get hit with a copyright thing. The amp is right there behind that panel there. All the wiring is hidden either underneath the floorboard, or we've got it routed through. And we did take, I'll walk up front here. We did take our little 200.4 and add it right on there, and it worked out really well. We definitely have a fuller sound, and everything sounds really good. So I'm just gonna have to take my word for it. But yeah, our fuse block, everything's worked out well. We got a lot of extra wiring, but we wanted to make sure everything worked out the way it should. So let's wrap this up. Well, that was the install. I mean, the nice thing was that the Bronco did give us that channel to go from front to back, and got lots of great spaces to put everything. Let me show you exactly how it looks once I got all the panels put back in. All right, well, it's the next morning. We finally got everything put back together this morning, and as you can see, the kicker key is sitting right back in this area here, and everything's out of the way. It's all tucked in there. There's lots of empty space in there, so it should be getting a lot of airflow, or at least keeping cool, but no wires. I mean, I don't have any wires underneath here showing. All the power wires are tucked in behind here, up and through the panels there, so nothing is seen there. Even the speaker wire that we put underneath the flooring that goes basically over this direction because we didn't have quite enough. Yeah, it's all hidden. Subwoofer almost looks just factory. I mean, there's nothing here. You got the grill. The enclosure sits right behind here. And it's really well made. I don't have any qualms about it at all. I mean, it fits well, and I've been really happy with it. I'm not getting any squeaks or anything from the subwoofer box itself, which is fantastic, and it sounds really nice. That Kicker 10-inch RT really does a good job in a small space. So if you're thinking about upgrading, or you don't even have a subwoofer, instead of place one on the tailgate and having extra weight on the tailgate, or no place to put a tailgate table if you wanted one, think about doing this Gear Shade 10-inch subwoofer box, or even they have an 8-inch. And it was that easy to really hide everything. You know, the great thing is the sub box from Gear Shade fits really well back here. I didn't have to do any kind of modification except cut off those two little studs that were there. Other than that, it's done really well, and it's just been sitting back here for probably close to a month, and no rattles or anything like that. And the sound is really, really full now. So that's why we're kind of putting a stamp on our sound system that it's done. Unless we find something else that we want to do it in the road and down the road, I think we're done with this. What do you think about the install so far, Monk, or the sound system in general, and then specifically the amp and the subwoofer?
I really like it. I think it was really fun to put in because it took us so long, and then it was kind of rewarding once it was done. But it sounds really nice, and once we were listening to it, you could even like feel the windows rattling just at a level 10 on your volume. And it's kind of insane to think about. It's just a level 10 when at 15 we could barely feel rattling.
Yeah, there was no bass before. I mean, we were running the 6.5s in the kick panels, the 6.5 in the SSV pods, and you got the 4-inch. So you really weren't getting any bass, but it's amazing when you add a little bass to your sound system, how much fuller the sound is in the cabin, how much nicer it feels. And like Addie said, we started messing with, the treble and the mid-range and the bass a little bit, and actually turned down the bass a little bit because it was getting a little much. And you definitely feel the vibrations throughout the cab. We're not thumping at all, but it definitely gives a nice full feel, to the point where Riley this morning in the Bronco, once we got everything buttoned up after last night, was wondering what was going on. So it's done really well, and I really am enjoying the music now more just with the subwoofer than I was just with our Kicker KS speakers. So actually, take that back. CS speakers is what we got in there. But it's been great. We've enjoyed it. It's a long road. I think the very first video we did was probably 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, on upgrading the speakers. So finally, it's done. We're super happy with it and looking forward to lots of open air trips around in it, listening to music, maybe some road trips with some fuller tunes now. So as always, though, we appreciate you watching. Hopefully you found this informative on how to wire up the amps, how to put in a Gear Shade subwoofer box, or any of the other videos we've done on our sound system. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button, because like we always say, we're finding tips, we're going to find some tricks, and we're definitely going to find some products that we use on our Bronco that you can use on yours. Have a blessed day.
Bye.